Well, a lot of people think that, okay, you're coming into treatment, the patient's the problem, and they get identified as the problem patient or the identified patient. And research has shown that really, if you fix the patient and send them back into an environment that is an unhealthy, dysfunctional environment, then what happens is the patient goes back to their old behaviors. So the family component is extremely important in the health of the recovery process for the patient, as well as the family, because the family plays a role in addiction as well.
I think it's important that it's an integrated part of that treatment here, so that it's not just treating the patient, but also the family system itself that's around the person. And granted, it's still the person's responsibility to take care of their own treatment and stuff, but it's also important for family to be aware of and to be educated about addiction.
And the patient usually has gone through a lot of their own consequences, but the family suffers just about as much in a different way.
We provide the family and the patient with a lot of information to help themselves with recovery and to learn something about themselves, to help them grow together. And there's a great lecture on the disease concept, and people get a medical explanation behind it all.
The forgiveness doesn't seem to be as difficult as the trust. They seem to be willing to forgive and say, I understand that a lot of what happened was because of the drugs. But what we do talk about is building the trust back as a process, and it's going to take time, and that takes actions. And so it's a matter of kind of, allowing people to grow and giving them an opportunity, but to understand on the patient's part that the family's still going to be a little bit leery, but that they want them to succeed.
It's very rewarding and amazing to me. I mean, when they come in, they're just so, so broken, so, just full of shame and guilt and fear, and, a lot of them are in disbelief, too, and how they ended up in this place, and, so just to see them, pick themselves up and get some self-esteem and, utilize the tools that we give them here with, the schemas and, a lot of the behavioral therapy that we give them and things. It's wonderful. And the changes that we see in them physically, they just come in here and they're, all disheveled or pale and just look really sick physically from, all the alcohol and drugs that they've been ingesting, and then 2-3 weeks later, they get their coloring back, they're, fixing themselves up with their, hair, makeup for the girls, and, the guys are, starting to care more about, like, their appearance and everything, and so it's just good to see that, to see them just be healthy again.
It's exciting. It really is exciting. And in fact, I just get this incredible sense of just a sense of well-being and happiness when I see, a patient transform from that, sad, very despondent place. And then the next week I see a little glimmer in their eye, and the next week their eyes are much clearer and they're smiling. And, by the time that they leave here, they have made a major transformation. I mean, it's really, it's almost like a miracle to see that happen. And it's fulfilling to me to be able to watch that.